Yeah. It's Wednesday. It's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, so you already know what time it is. What's good, world? It's your man, Jeff A. Smith, jumping off once again on Jumpoff Live, and welcome to episode 11. And Happy New Year to everybody. This is our first official show of the new year, and what a way to bring it in. What a day and a way to bring it in. As always, like you're doing right now, you can tune in each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on our Jump Off Live YouTube channel. There you'll also find all of our past episodes, original ads, and the Anything But interview series. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hot take news alert: we now have over 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So salute. A special shout out to JR, who helped single-handedly get us to that threshold.
Big shout out.
Yes,
big shout out.
definitely. So we hit that 100 mark, which is big and monumental for us. So we appreciate all the love and the support, and welcome to the new subscribers. And we really appreciate everybody who's been rocking with us since day one as well. You can also catch us on the Barn Burner Network and Zingo TV channel 250 by downloading those apps, which are available on the iOS and Google Play stores. If you're on the go, you can also listen to us on Spotify and Google Podcasts. Shout out to all the fans in the chat as always. We really appreciate you. Be sure to keep your comments clean, however, so we can post them on the screen, like I say each and every week. Also, we're gonna have, you guessed it, an after show again, or an after party as we call it. Where
After
we
the
continue
show, it's the after party.
exactly where we continue the conversation uncensored, no mask allowed, etc., etc. So the link will be on the YouTube page, and after the show, you can just refresh the YouTube page, and you'll see the link to the after party where we can really, really get our thoughts out.
Indeed.
Yes. So I'm joined here by the rest of Team Jumpoff. First and foremost, we have the man, the myth, the legend, that dude named Dave. What's popping, that dude?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. Can't call. Another Wednesday here with Jump Off Fellas. I ain't got much
Yeah,
to say, but check me out also on Boxing Now podcast on YouTube. Hey, we going strong with that last episode of Ryan Garcia. Got a lot of people mad with what I did, but I called it right. So YouTube, Boxing Now podcast.
that's what's up. That's what's up. You sound a little low, Dave. A
Oh,
little
I'm
low.
sorry. Yeah, I'm a little bit from my mic. Sorry about that.
Oh,
There. How
okay. No,
about
it's all
that,
good.
man?
That's
All
better.
right, cool.
Next up, we have JD with the ever evolving wall behind him. What's popping, JD?
Not much, man. Just glad to be here, yo. I don't even want to say a whole lot right now because we got a whole lot to dive into.
Yeah, yeah. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
That's all. Last but certainly not least, we have Johnny Dangerous. What's popping, Johnny?
What's up, everybody? Hey, I just want to give a special shout out to Zingo TV and Barn Burner. They aired our show, right? Like back to back, like 10 episodes, 11 episodes, 10 episodes, right?
Yep. Over the weekend, they sure did. All
That was
of them.
beautiful, man. Special shout out to them. We appreciate them. And then also, what in the last month or so, we got like over 12,000 or something.
12,000 views on the channel, man. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's huge, man.
And that's just
Whoa.
audio. That's just the audio. That's the
Yeah.
audio only version. So 12K audio. We don't have the full numbers on the video yet that run on the channel, but I know it's even bigger than that. So man, yeah, doing big things. Real thankful for Joe and Eduardo over at Barn Burner.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, just doing pretty big things. Not to be braggadocious, Johnny Davis. Go ahead.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
Appreciate
yeah.
you.
It's humbling too, man. I mean, just knowing that many ears are listening to us, man, gives me chills. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Enough said about that, though. Let's dive right in. I mean, it's been quite a day. We've had a lot of quite a days over the last year or so, but it's been another one of them. It's been another one of them. Quite a day.
lot of quite a day.
Yeah. What a day. What a day. Where's Erykah Badu when you need?
Right.
So that dude, go ahead and kick us off, man. Let us know what's going on. What's the temperature looking like out there?
Man, in Chicago, it might be cold, but it's hot in the streets in DC, man.
Yeah.
For real. I had so many ways to want to talk about today, and it's kind of ironic, or just I guess the perfect timing or coincidence that we're doing this show, and everything's actually happening as we speak right now as far as Congress. But I guess I can just give like a quick recap if you've been under a rock. So leading up to a couple of weeks ago, we've had President Trump, that's his official title still, I guess. He's been saying that there was just going to be this protest today, which he did hold in DC. He did not discontinue any of the rhetoric that he was saying that the election was taken from him and it's rigged, and they need to go to the streets and go to the Capitol building and basically say, show them what we mean. And what we had here is something that we don't know. What I say we have not seen. And I say a good like 200 plus years in this country, let alone we see in other countries: insurrection, anarchy, treason, rebellion, people getting shot, people getting killed. And for what? Over a lie, because Trump is constantly saying that the election was taken from him when it's not. So, fellas, we see on the news, whether it's on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, Trump has completely lost it. I don't care if you're blue, if you're GOP, you're independent. We're seeing a man unhinged right now. We're seeing him calling on the people to do what he's been saying that would happen for the past 5 years. We saw the Capitol storm. We saw windows being broken and shot out. We saw people, they're not protesters. We saw thugs. We saw people who were destroying things in our country's Capitol building, in offices of our legislators and lawmakers. We've seen double standards because we saw Black Lives Matter rally a few months ago. The National Guard, the police, DC, everything was locked in little rubber bullets, you name it. What are we watching today? People saying this is not America. No, people, it's a wake-up call because this is America, what it's always been. What we're seeing here is the fact that America is coming home to roost, what we've been sowing for so many years, tens of years, decades, hundreds of years. We live in two countries. We have a racist society and a society that people want to see things done right. So, fellas, let me open up to you because it's a whole diatribe of things that's actually happening in this country. And for me being a black man, I want to preface this as a black man. I am so indifferent right now. 10 years ago, I would have felt so many emotions. But this is a time where really I'm standing back and watching because I didn't see many black faces in the crowd. I saw a pool of people with Trump MAGA hats and Trump flags fighting for what? So let me ask you guys here, what do you guys feel about what's going on today? Because, I mean, honestly, this is not our fight. It's sad. It's America. But for us, not to be singular or separate, but let's be honest, this is not our fight. What you guys think?
If I could go first, I think it is our fight. Just like everything is our fight if we're, if we're living and residing in this country to some degree. It depends on where you're fighting and what you're fighting for, more importantly. And if I could quote a post that I saw by a college classmate of mine by the name of Randine Holloway, shout out to her and her hubby
shout out to
Philly.
Randine. He's slick.
Yeah. She posted I guess she probably saw it somewhere else, but it brings up a good point. It says, we're not asking you to shoot them like you shoot us. We're asking you not to shoot at us like you don't shoot at them. And I thought that was super poignant and exactly what we are trying to, exactly what the uproar is about, exactly what the conflict is about. I know watching this stuff today, I felt a ton of emotions, from sadness to anger to laughter, everything in between. And just watching it, I would say even more so than everything else, the sadness took over because I saw a different sort of response. And that alternative response is what made me more angry than anything else. Not even the fact, I mean, we don't even have to dive into the fact that, what they are complaining about and protesting for is something that goes against everything our country has been built on. We don't even have to go into that fact. But the fact that the response to that was wholly different from the response that a Black Lives Matter rally got a few months ago is that's the part that angers me. That's the part that makes me furious. And, I'm not trying to divert attention from everything else, but seeing those responses and seeing the way that it is handled makes me feel even more like this country has a giant divide in the middle of it. And each day that divide grows bigger and bigger. And I think it's up to individuals like us on this show to make sure that divide slowly but surely gets narrowed. And I think it's all of our responsibility to do that. It's going to be hard and it's going to take continued effort, but I believe that it is possible to make things better. I'm not a person who's going to take away all hope and say that, nah, this is just the way it is. It kind of is, but I would like to remain hopeful and hope that, things can get better. I just would prefer that the response to these acts be a little bit different. I guess I hope the response would be a little bit different, maybe a little bit more, I don't even want to say aggressive, more fitting to the standard that has already been set by this administration. So if you're gonna do, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna call a spade, let's continue to call a spade. So if that's what it was before, I'm a little difficult trying to figure out why it's a little different now. I really hope that in the coming days that, we can somehow, some way rally together and find some sort of common ground. But I mean, the longer things go, the more I feel like it's harder and harder to find hope for peaceful solutions. When you see people officers posing for selfies with quote unquote protesters and rioters, it makes me feel a certain way. When I see people, when I see Capitol Police moving barricades out the way so that quote unquote protesters can go inside the Capitol building, it makes me feel a certain way. When I see normal human beings sitting in the Senate majority leader's chair, it makes me feel a certain way. When I see those same people in Nancy Pelosi's office vaping, it makes me feel a certain way. I guarantee you, I couldn't step foot in that place. So hard not to curse right now.
We'll do it on the after party.
Yeah. But yeah, we couldn't step foot in that place and do any of that type of stuff. So yeah, where's the response? Why is it different? That's my only question with all of this, man. And it was sad to me, and I couldn't really believe that I found myself getting emotional about it, and not because of what was happening. That was sad enough, but to see the response be so different made me even more saddened.
Well said, JD. John, did you want to go or you want me to go?
Man, wow. Those comments, everything that you guys say is like picking scab to wounds, or ripping the stitches out of wounds us as a people have endured over the many years. Just watching this, it's much deeper than what we saw on TV. And what I'm really enjoying about this conversation here is that we are really digging into what we observed, and we're speaking for the people. I see a lot of people chiming in right now. Matter of fact, shout out to all the new listeners, all the new viewers that helped us get to that 100 subscribes. We appreciate y'all. Feel free to comment. Express yourselves. But Trump wanted this. He tweeted some time ago. He told everybody to show up, and he said that it was going to be wild. This is Trump's last flex as president, right? His last flex of power to show the world he is still the president and he still has this power. His whole presidency has been like a game to him. Sims, the presidential edition, if you will, and he's been playing with American lives. Look how many people have died because of COVID. He didn't take it seriously. Actually, he admitted that it was serious, but he lied to us so that we wouldn't panic, right? So he didn't do the things that was necessary and put things in place for the American people to be safe, right? Man, I have so much that I can say on this, but on a lighter note, actually, I'm hearing right now that we actually have one of our Jumpoff Live journalists on the scene right now, and I'm going to go ahead and tune into it.
This is Celsius of Jumpoff Live reporting to you live here on Capitol Hill, where the ish has hit the fan and is rolling down the hill. I'm here standing by with the one and only Master Do You. I think we might be the only two black people out here as we stand in a cloud of smoke and mist. So glad I brought some pepper spray goggles from the quarantine superstore. It's been insane. Master Do You, what say you about this barbaric atmosphere we find ourselves dangling in the middle of? Celsius, get a hold of yourself. Do You will not allow anything happen to you. Not in my presence anyway. Once I step away though, you are on your own. Right now, I am in my I wish a MAGA would mode. Anywho, I can't help but to laugh at all of this debauchery. If you had read my new book, you would have known this was coming. I wrote that part in pencil. Trump was trained to finesse by the best, me. But he uses power to incite this kind of behavior. I do not condone this. It is unprecedented. He is the one who got all these sheep to come out here and crap all over the grounds of this nice grand dojo. I see all kinds of people out here begging to be finessed further down the dark tunnel of manipulation. It's a damn shame. It really is. All right, do you? That should wrap things up. Don't cut me off. Here, we are in 2021, and this kind of behavior is only the streaks of 2020 stains left in this new year, tighty whities. All right, do you? That should about wrap things up. It's a bit too rambunctious out here for my liking. I see some red hats moving this way. Celsius, don't you ever cut do you off again. Give me this mic. Folks, words of advice from your favorite master. If you are in a position of power, you have the ability to bring the nation together, or you could spread your cheeks and make a big splash before you leave. And it is then that your power is equivalent to the suction it takes to flush a toilet. Jumpoff!
Wow. Well, folks, that was Celsius, our Jump Off Live investigative reporter on the scene. So on a lighter note.
Wait, hey, John, real quick. Who sent Celsius there? Do you know?
Yeah,
Like,
who
wasn't
paid?
me.
Yeah.
How'd he get there?
I didn't send him there. I don't know. I don't know how he got there. As a matter of fact, I don't even know why he would want to be there around all those wild people. Being that he might have been the only one of his kind out there. So
I'm still looking for black faces in the crowd, man. So I'm trying to figure out how you got there.
Mm-hmm.
How you get that close?
He was probably in the cut somewhere in the bushes or something. There were some bushes out there. I imagine he was in those bushes until Do You came out. You know.
Yeah. Do You had a couple of gems in there that you know people should follow.
He always does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he always does. You gotta kind of sometimes you gotta dig
bars.
a little bit, but
yeah, man.
He needs to drop an album.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree. You know, that was on a lighter note of things. I just wanted to give, you know, our investigative journalist Celsius a little bit of time to express himself on that, but I'm not going to say much more. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you, Jeff.
Yeah. With me, I did go through a variety of emotions today, and you know, I got my thoughts out as far as some notes are concerned for the show and stuff like that. They may not be as streamlined or even as articulate, but this made me think about things at a I guess a macro or a bigger level as to what's going on in our country. It seems like a buzzword is unprecedented. Things keep happening that are unprecedented. Oh, this hasn't happened in this many years, or hasn't happened at all. And it's like, oh man, he did this. Oh man, they did this. And like, and it keeps just ratcheting up. And the thoughts that I have are, and again, this is just stream of consciousness and obviously my opinion. This country was built on a foundation of violence, deception, and inequality. It's Genesis.
Say that again, bro.
This country was built on a foundation of violence, deception, and inequality. Going back to when it was discovered, or how it was discovered. Born out of that chaos, somehow were these ideals and aspirations about what it means to be American and what our country stands for. So born out of this violence, deception, and equality were ideals like democracy, equality, freedom. And therein lies the contradiction. Democracy, equality, and freedom for whom? When the foundation is violence, deception, and inequality.
Wow.
Justice is served, but justice is served conveniently.
Come on now.
We're a country of caveats. It's always a caveat to it. You know, what does it really mean to be American? Land of the free, home of the brave. For who? There's always a ... after everything. It's hidden, or maybe it's not hidden. You know what I mean?
Coming out the shadows.
Yeah. Trump is a living, breathing example of the American contradiction.
Come on, man.
I'm going to get this country by any means necessary, and I'm going to create equality, democracy, and freedom. If I'm going to steal the country in order to create equality, democracy, and freedom, I'm going to rape and pillage Native Americans in order to create a country that's built on equality and freedom. It just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense to me.
You're gonna force people into slavery to promote this equality and freedom, huh?
Right.
Somebody got to pay the cost, right?
Right. So as I tried to make sense of things, that's when I went down this rabbit hole and said, sometimes there is no making sense when something is born out of madness and born out of insanity. How do you make sense of that? How do you reconcile that? And that's all I have.
That was a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Man, that was a lot.
I wanted to add, there was a couple of things I seen today, and this is one quote that one person had brought up here. He says, here it is. When your power is rooted in abuse and oppression of others, this is how you respond to losing it. He's losing his power in 2 weeks. It's January 6th. January 20th is the end date. And let me just add another thing too. Look who's running the country right now. Like, out of all this chaos, he is in the Oval Office and no one's communicating with him. Everything that's being coordinated through Mike Pence. We are in a country of disarray where the second man in charge is somehow taking over, while this man has been suspended from Twitter. Isn't this crazy how the president of the United States has been suspended from Twitter till 7 a.m. tomorrow because of the riot tweets that he sent out, the last 3 of them?
It's crazy.
And what I was saying earlier about how this is not our fight, there was 70 plus million people who voted for him in 2020. And we're not counting the people who couldn't vote because of whatever reason. Either they're too young or incarcerations or whatever it is that not allow that to them to vote. When I say it's not our fight, how do you change the minds of people who believe this in this day of age? What do you do to stop ignorance, hatred, bigotry, racism to grown people who feel that is the right way? We know what's right, but how do you change grown people's ideas and attitudes and mentality? So that's where I was coming with that. What can you do? And why I need to say I'm stepping back? Can't tell grown people what to do.
Yeah.
We're going to do what we're going to do. So that's where I was coming with that standpoint. It sounds sad, but what do you do with grown people who have their mind set up?
Yeah. A lot of this too, in my opinion, is so the country is evolving. It's always been evolving since day one. The only thing that's constant is change. So we're consistently going through an evolution. There's folks who try to hold on to ideals and things that have been status quo for a number of years. And when tides are turning and things are changing, people would do anything in their power to keep and hold on to what was, whether that thing was good or bad. You know what I mean? Like things always evolve and change, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. We all know this. There's a changing of the guard that's been going on in this country for a number of years. People are scared and nervous about the power of people who have melanin. They're scared and nervous and they don't know what to do because the tide is turning. And they're literally shaking in their boots and they feel that they're losing the control and the power that they've had for hundreds of years in this country. In my opinion, some of them don't even really know the root cause of the reason why they're that nervous, because we haven't given them a reason to think that we're gonna do to them what they did to us. You know what I mean? Because we've always turned the other cheek for the most part and done nothing but spread love. But
that's guilt.
Yeah.
That's guilt. Yeah. When you've done something and you're worried about the retribution that's coming back to you, think it's gonna be same or even twofold.
Yeah. So the evolution is happening. The tides are turning and people are holding on for dear life to try to keep things the way that they were. Hence make America great again. You know what I'm saying? Hence keep America great. Things of that nature. So
I think the true crux of that is, when was America great in their opinion?
Say it, JD.
When they were holding people down, when people were being held back and not allowed to reach their potential. when people were being put in positions where they could not have their freedom, when they were taking this country away from the people who were indigenous to this region. I personally know a lot of people who are quote unquote Republicans, just like I know a lot of people who are quote unquote Democrats. I know people who are good people. I know people who are bad people. I think that the chaos that has been brought upon this country, or at least the perceived chaos that's been brought upon this country, is all by design. Whether that designer is Trump or some other power that may be, I'm not sure. But I know that a lot of times the only thing that can unite people is chaos. And you have these people on both sides of the aisle, quote unquote, who are desperately fighting for control. And you have people like us who are just the middlemen. We're the people in the middle. We're the ones who get the fallout and the effects of all of this stuff. Sometimes it drives me to not care as much. Sometimes it makes me feel completely numb to all of this. Because like you were saying earlier, Jeff, you know, it's something new and unprecedented every day. You just have to wonder where it stops. Does it stop? And what's the goal? What's the end game? I know, John, one thing that I know when we were talking about this earlier that you brought up was that while this was going on, what was it distracting us from? Because usually, and I hadn't thought about it like that, but usually when there are things like this that happen, it's because something else is happening. So right. Did you have any ideas on, or did you want to speculate on what you thought may have been happening during this time, or what the distraction was for?
Man, you know, the funny thing is that anytime something like this occurs, and a lot of people can look at this as being the first time that this sort of thing happened, but it's really a repetitious cycle. This sort of thing has happened in times before. We're just seeing it. A lot of people are seeing it for the first time with their own eyes. As I think about it, we really don't know. But what I do know is that it always reveals itself at some point in time. It does reveal itself, whether it may be tomorrow, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, whether it be when Trump gets out of office. There's always something else going on in the background that distractions are put before that, right? This cloud of smoke, so that you're so focused on what happened today that you don't see what's going on in the background, which is the bigger picture. Why is this happening? There's a rhyme and a reason for everything. You know, looking at today and the difference between what happened today and how there was a lack of responsibility there compared to when the BLM, you know, Black Lives Matter marched and protested, and how responsibility was taken there as far as making sure that everyone was safe, making sure there was enough security and force in position to deter or to lower the threat level or increase the threat level when the BLM march and whatnot is right, and everything was inciting and going on. And so I look at responsibility, man. Being the president of the United States of America is considered the most powerful position in the world. But yet the one person in that position today has taken the least amount of responsibility. What does that say about America? This is the person we voted into office to run the nation. This businessman coming with new ideas to restructure America and make it great again. Before, I used to be a huge fan of Trump. Donald Trump watch, Donald Trump clothing, ties, his books. I was a fan of his before he became president of the United States. I was a fan of Donald Trump before most of the people that follow Donald Trump now were a fan. But when this man showed himself, revealed himself to the American people, and cost so many people their lives, stripped children, Mexican children from their parents, it said a lot to me when he talked bad about disabled people, when he talked bad about women, when he talked bad. Look at my African American. People will tell on themselves. The mouth is a very powerful thing. The words that you say stem from what you feel in your heart. And so, going back to what you originally asked, JD, I don't know. I don't know what this whole cloud of smoke today was really all about, but I do know at some point in time it will reveal itself. So people, I encourage you to stay focused and keep your eyes open, because we'll see what the true underlying reason is behind today. And so with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
Well said. Were there any other points that you want to get to, Dave, in our A block here, or?
No, because of timing, there's more, but this will be a 3-hour show if I really want to.
Yeah, we can definitely delve more into
we can
the
chop it up later.
An after party and stuff like that. Okay, cool. So is it time for a commercial break? Lighten the tone a little bit in the room.
Yeah, it is, man. The Jump Off Live. We a roller coaster of emotions, a roller coaster of greatness, a roller coaster of entertainment. We do some of everything. So to lighten things up, right? We have these incredible sponsors. But before we have a word from our sponsor, I got a word from someone that we're all familiar with. If you're a fan of this show, listen in before we roll that sponsorship.
Hey there, good peoples. Hey there, everybody from the Jump Off, but Jeff. Yeah, I had heard what you said on the show about me sounding kind of shady when I had called in last time. I remember the day when y'all young bulls used to have some kind of respect for your elders. I'm going to give you some act right, but we'll talk about that some other time. Before I let my thoughts get interrupted by you, Jeff, I want to let everybody know that since the COVID-19 evolution that's happening right now, mainly over there where they eat chicken with mayo and fish and chips, y'all know what I'm talking about, the place where they speak the Queen's English. God bless her heart. She was a fox back in the day. Those big, pretty blue eyes. If old Quarantine Corey wasn't on quarantine, I would grab me a box of those candles, a gallon or two of that wolf wine, and let me stay on track here. I think I need a pink shrink right about now. Quarantine Superstore. There's a special going on right now. Did you hear me? Because I damn near couldn't hear myself. Since COVID cases are up and mutating like the X-Men, but I don't think anybody has any superpowers from it. Quarantine Superstore has a doorbuster sale on COVID vaccine side effects. So you're right. Since you can't get the actual vaccine because supplies are limited, you can come to the Quarantine Superstore and get all the side effects your little heart desires. Like to see it? Well, I'm going to show you if you give me a minute. That dude, roll that film.
Quarantine Superstore. Our shelves stay stocked with all the things you don't need. We've got everything everyone else doesn't have, from DVD rewinders, underarm do-rags to relax and lay down that kinky armpit hair, burger buns, all top buns and no bottoms to double down on that soft bite cushion, pickle juice, ooh-wee, sweet and tangy, Donald Trump's UV ray disinfecting bleach water that heats up and attacks the virus inside the body. We sell pre-scrambled eggs. All you have to do is heat it up and eat it up. Good. Pink shrink to make your manhood get little when you know you shouldn't do it. Match lighters for those times you are having a hard time lighting that match to start a fire. Ice slicers. Condoms, the type of protection you apply for the things you can do. We keep it stocked, folks. Wolf wine and honey badger brew. Vulture jerky, the kind that's extra dry and will get you kinda high. Dead batteries, we've got all sizes. You can use them as paperweights and watch them roll away. Clear curtains so you can see out while people are looking in. And introducing human cheese, also known as Hugh cheese, made from real breast milk, Quarantine Superstore. Sponsored by $1 billion in CARES Act Right funds. Thanks, Uncle Sam. Hurry while supplies last, and they will, because not too many people buy these things. We Liddy, Jumpoff.
I love those sponsors.
Yeah. So quarantine Corey got smoke from me.
Man,
Wow.
he heard you last time, dude.
He got smoke, huh?
That's what it seemed like.
He said my name, I think, 2 or 3 times during his spiel.
He
He
kind of
had
called you
your
out.
name in his mouth. Yes. Your name was in his mouth.
A lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
What you gonna do about that there, bro?
He got that smoke.
I don't even know, man. He sounded like a poor man's Jay Prince. That's what he
You don't
sounded
mess with
like.
Jay Prince,
For those
though,
for those who know who Jay Prince is, he sounded like a poor man's Jay Prince.
Why do they have the only the quarantine, or I'm sorry, only the vaccine side effects though? Like, I didn't know you could actually like put those in a container. Like,
Hey, Corey's an idiot.
hey, don't talk like that to our sponsor, man.
Oh,
like, you know, you gotta have some integrity, bro.
Hey yo,
integrity.
Yeah,
This man is slanking side effects, and I have to have the integrity. He's selling malice in a bag, and I have to have the integrity. I have to go high. When he goes low, I go high
because you're Jeff.
Let me get a pound of Bell's palsy. What the hell?
I mean, it seems as though to me that Corey is one of those guys who is what we need is the backbone of this country. Somebody who is an enterprising adult who has been very goal oriented, and he had a cause, and he had something that he wanted to bring to the American public, and that's what he was able to do. He was able to contact us and help in order to help him get the word out about his store. So
spoken like a man with padded pockets. Spoken like a man with padded pockets.
I mean,
let me see your cut of the check, because you saying that too much of a straight face. Right?
Payola.
No, yeah. I don't.
We need to see the contracts, Jay.
What did you just say in the A block, JD? What did you just say in the A block?
Right.
About what? About what?
Hey. Hey, I can't say no. Hey, all I know, the quarantine Corey got it in for you, bro. He got it in for you, Jeff.
Next time you talk to him, ask him who he voted for, and that'll tell me all you know.
I don't know. He kind of old school. He probably didn't even vote, man.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah,
he probably cast his vote at the store.
He bought his ballot and everything from.
He sells ballots too.
Wait,
huh?
He bought a ballot. That's what you said. He bought.
So you must go to Quarantine Superstore. You see a ballot that has Reagan, Mondale, Jimmy Carter,
Dukakis,
Ross Perot,
all the greatest hits. All the B. He got B-side ballots.
He got John Kerry slips.
He got all VP ballots.
VP? Oh my!
You know what? Because he got that Jesse Jackson ballot though. That's the one.
Yeah, he
like
probably signed
from '88.
Yeah,
bro. He just told me that Quarantine Superstore has 11,800 votes for Trump.
Oh, that's what homeboy was looking for, huh?
Trump needs to call him.
Homeboy was looking for. That's where they went.
He messing with the wrong folks. He needs to call the brothers up.
But he can't.
I don't know if Corey want that smoke though, man. He shouldn't be texting those types of things. I'm trying to keep our bag secured, so we need to keep him alive.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Hey, John, he's selling dead batteries. Don't every black folk got dead batteries everywhere?
Yeah, well, he got dead. He said that he got dead batteries that are excellent paperweights.
Yeah, the paperweights though, but I ain't gonna ask.
Who uses paper?
Whoa.
I'm just, I'm done. I ain't even gonna keep taking jabs at him like that.
He said the store stay stocked with everything you don't need.
Right. I got it.
Where's the store?
I mean, if you walk in there, you know what to expect.
Yeah.
He ain't lying.
Yeah.
He ain't lying. He a man of his word.
Pre-scrambled eggs, etc.
They sell huge draws there too, John. They probably sell used draws too there, right?
Probably do, man. I guarantee they got two for none.
2 for 9.
2 for the free.
With the elastigol shot up, right? No elastic on them, just hanging, free for all.
Yeah, you
Disgusting.
come in that caveman style and come out with some draws.
That's how dudes do. That's what I was saying. Like if they got that, people be buying it off the rack. Well, taking them off the rack. You ain't gonna buy it.
Well, man, quarantine superstore. Don't sleep on it, y'all. We like to give people chances, man. Wait till next week. Jeff, wait till next week.
Well, at least these checks are clearing though, so you can't really say much, Jeff.
Yeah, Corey paid for my cup.
He did, didn't he? He paid for all our cups.
He paid for the shipping too, huh? What else you got for us, Dave? Hey, what else you got for us, that dude?
Shout out Purple Violin.
Oh man, so we're kind of close on time here. So do we want to do the story I had posted earlier that not pretty people talking about because of Trump, or let me just throw it out there. Let's just say, forget. Let's get lighter here, or we want to go serious. What we do?
I think we need to talk about what's going on in Georgia. I mean, that's important.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? And if we for some reason don't get to what I was going to get to today, that can be a deeper conversation for another episode.
Yeah. So let me get to this here. So I admit, like I think I was on episode 3, and I think a lot of people were wrong on the Georgia race, that how much money was spent. But of course, there was so many people running, and we had the Georgia runoff today. And at 2 a.m., we had Warnock, who was officially the winner, first Black senator in Georgia history, along with the fact that he's only the 11th Black senator in this country's history. And Osnoff, who also won. And so now Georgia, which was completely red 2 years ago, is now blue. Stacey Abrams. No, we have other entertainers that's involved here.
Hey, Dave, yes. I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. Can you say that stat again about the Black senators?
Oh, okay. So he is the first Black senator in Georgia, and he is only the 11th Black senator in this country's history. 11.
That is utterly shocking.
So when people say we got
is it unprecedented, JD, is it unprecedented?
So think about it. When people talk about we had our first Black president, we've only had 11 Black senators. But I wanted to put some roses on Stacey Abrams. She is somebody who, in 2018, the election, when talking about stolen, she should be using Donald Trump's line. We have proof and facts of what happened in 2018, and she still barely lost. Most people who lose in close elections like that would normally kind of fall to the wayside. We see them, but no, she hit harder. She hit the rural areas. She built her grassroots up. She went ahead and showed that Georgia was not this completely racist state that was always red, and disenfranchised Black people needed a voice. And what did she do? She went out there for these past 2 years, campaigned. She helped other politicians. She put her money where her mouth was and was in these streets every day. She got 2 senators put in place over racist senators who were involved in insider trading this year. The only reason why they got off of it because of Trump. So she needs to be praised. She is the epitome of Black girl magic, a Black woman doing things beyond the measure of what we've seen here. She is who we want our sisters, our mothers, who we want to marry to be. She is somebody who we need to say, yo, we need to get behind her and make sure nothing happens to her. So, fellas, what do you think about Georgia right now?
I think we finally got that opportunity to give praise and honor to somebody who was able to accomplish something that has not been able to be accomplished. It wasn't even something that people in our position could have thought of being accomplished before it actually was. And to have the foresight and the thought and the determination and the work that was put in and the effort that was put in, and for it to play the part that it ended up playing in the end, it just makes me feel, proud that someone was able to, that she was able to have the foresight that, hey, I saw what happened with me. You might strike me down, but I'll come back even stronger. And that's exactly what she was able to do. That's a Star Wars quote, kind of, but I don't really know all the exact quote. But I'm just happy to see that she was able to help something happen that would not have been possible without her. Without her going through, like a lot of times when things don't happen and things don't go right for you, a lot of times people become spiteful and discouraged. And that's the opposite of what happened with her. She became more motivated. She became more determined to make change and was able to make that change happen. And it took time. And that's a lesson that all of us can learn, that even when you get, thrown down, you have to pick yourself up and work even harder to get what you want. And that's what she was able to do. So I think she's a lesson and an inspiration for all of us, not just Black women, but all people.
Man, absolutely, man. I'm gonna keep this real short, but thank you, that dude, for bringing her up.
Yes.
Man, because we only see so much, and of course, the media is not going to highlight the hard work that she put forth as a woman of color. Shout out to all the women, period, but women of color. If this doesn't show you the power and influence that you have, I don't know what will. You can do anything you set your mind to. Faith combined with works equals success. As long as you never give up, nothing can stop a man or woman who will not quit. And that's by Mike Humes. And so, man, woman power to her. I'm loving it. I look forward to seeing what women will do going forward from here. I believe that we're going to see some exceptional leaps and bounds in America, as divided as it is. But I think women are about to dazzle us with the things that they're going to accomplish from this point forward. So I'm excited about that. Shout out, women. Keep doing what you're doing. Jeff.
Definitely. That's just part of what I was saying before about evolution. That's a positive aspect of evolution of our country. And Stacey Abrams is a testament to perseverance. You know, she's playing the long game, and I think a lot of times we forget that if we have these short term obstacles or short term ails that we all experience and take in our life, we have to realize that sometimes these short term what we may deem as setbacks in the moment end up leading to a greater good or even bigger opportunities. So she's a testament to perseverance, dedication, and just not letting any type of defeat or negative energy put her in a funk to not have her want to continue to try to move forward. So kudos, definitely.
And let me add too, the significance of this is now that the Senate's 50-50, fellas. So in 2 years now, because of Trump, we got the House flipped and then the Senate flipped. And because the tiebreaker, Kamala Harris will be the new VP, not elect, but VP by January 20th will be the deciding factor. So there's a lot of things can be done that won't be stonewalled by money making Mitch anymore. You know,
Yeah.
he is the worst.
Mitch.
He's going to go down in history, like for the things that he's done, or let me say things that he has not done. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
And that's separate from his hands.
oh my God.
He was
Call
dealt
him
a
money
bad
making
hand, I
Mitch.
guess. Huh?
Yeah, I guess he was.
It's just
Two
so
of 'em.
funny how he allowed the taxpayers to fund the billionaires, but won't give us 2 Gs. But we're getting 2 Gs next month, folks.
The and Biden's gonna obviously gonna have democratically controlled House and Senate. Obama didn't have that for either term, correct?
Yes, he did. The first when he got elected.
Oh, first term he did.
That's how we got the Obamacare.
Okay,
Obamacare
I stand
place.
corrected.
And then,
Okay,
as soon as
gotcha.
that happened, then the Republicans came in the Tea Party and went rampant.
Yeah, I stand corrected. Okay, cool. So hopefully he'll definitely be able to get some things through. Okay. We have a
And
quick.
I think one other thing that I think needs to be touched on is that we need and when I say we, I just mean as a country, we need the support of all people, not just people of color, not white people. We need everyone's support. Everybody needs to at least attempt to be on the same page. And I think that the media wants us to forget that. I think the media wants us to watch this division and think that this is the only thing that we have. This is where we're at right now. No, it doesn't have to be that way. And it can start with you. It can start with each individual person. It can start with each person hearing this right now, deciding that, man, you know what? I'm not going to be divisive today. And it's really that simple. And people like to make it seem like it's hard and like it's so daunting, but it doesn't have to be. Especially if you can't affect change on a country or a worldwide scale, you can affect change in yourself. And it has to start there. It has to start somewhere. So if you can just be the best in the best you that you can be. And I know it sounds cheesy, but if you can be the best you that you can be, that's a positive start that needs to happen.
Yeah.
And it needs to happen now.
It does.
A lot of people are scared to look in the mirror, and that's another conversation for another day. But I do believe that in this country, you know, even piggybacking off of what I said earlier, there's still more love than there is hate. I personally do believe that. I think the hate is what gets the headlines, but I think there's more love out there. Because love and peace is boring. It doesn't garner attention, doesn't garner headlines.
Right.
Like the drama. I have a quick fun story that I'm gonna kind of read off. It's not gonna be the one. It's a little bit of a different one. So just so you guys know. Dave, you want to play the fun intro for us? Okay, this was a effed up news story that occurred over the holidays. So, New York Post said the rich New Yorkers are hiring line waiters to sit in COVID-19 testing queues. So, wealthy New Yorkers are shelling out big bucks to professional line waiters, so they won't have to sit in long hours in COVID-19 testing queues ahead of the holidays. Cash-strapped locals who offer their line-sitting services on freelance marketplace TaskRabbit told the Post they've been charging up to $80 an hour for service, and people are paying. I've already done this about 5 times already, said one out-of-work writer as she waited in a City MD line in Soho for someone else. One day I got hired to do 2 lines, so that's how busy it is. Every day I'm getting inquiries. Even as New Yorkers are advised to, as they were advised to cancel their holiday plans, thousands were still hitting testing sites for some reinsurance and paperwork ahead of traveling for the holidays. But those who don't have time or the will to wait out in the cold all day are turning to stand-ins to do the hard part for them. So, there's people who are professional line standers. And if you got the paper to pay for it, you can have somebody wait for you. And I want to get you guys' thoughts on that. That's a pretty interesting concept. At first I was like, oh, that's cheating. But hey, if you pay like you weigh and somebody's willing to do that, then by all means go ahead. You go to Great America for me. And I can ride the Raging Bull, you know what I'm saying, all day long, stand in line for me. What's your thoughts about, professional line waiters?
Hey, get it how you live, man. Get it how you live. If you can afford to have somebody waiting in line for you, who am I to say don't do that? I mean, if it's something that you don't want to do, I think it's it's kind of odd that, or it's kind of messed up that we're at a point where we still have lines for people to get tested, and we expect this vaccine to magically get administered to people. We can't even get people tested.
Yeah,
that's the first thing I thought about.
Yeah,
like there's lines just to get tested.
It's like crazy.
After all this time,
it's crazy.
So I mean, that's kind of discouraging.
Okay.
Real quick. This is supposed to be kind of light, but dang, man.
Hey, it's still fun. Fun ain't always fun.
Yeah. Fun is effed up. That's what it is.
Right. Real quick, that dude and John.
Go ahead, that dude.
I was gonna say, I don't see a villain in this story here, man. I know
no villain.
No, there's no villain. Hey, if you broke, I understand why you mad. If you got the bag, I understand why you doing it, because I'm on both coins. I remember there was a time where that I see some people do. I'm like, man, what the? And now I'm like, man, step your weight up. So hey, man, I'm paying that. And here's the thing, they're only paying $80 an hour. Shoot, please, man, I'd charge 100, 120 minimum if I was gonna be in line out there in these winters. So that's a cheap bag there. I'll pay the $80 an hour. Go ahead.
that would make you a master line.
I am telling you, it is. I'm not waiting. Like, 2 hours, I'll be there at 1:59. Boom.
Yeah, man. I think the concept is it's smart. What do your qualifications have to be? Just imagine a job posted on Indeed. Just imagine the job interview. Sir, how long have you been a professional line stander? Well, I've been doing this for about 13 years. I stand in all kind of lines. I've got experience standing in lines at clubs. I have experience at Six Flags and now the COVID-19 line, and so my fee is $120 per hour. Easy, and so I'll stand in that line. You mean you could be a felon? You could be a crackhead. Just imagine you standing in line at the club, everybody else dressed up, you dressed like a bum. You get to the front, it's time for your person to come
Hey, you
in.
can't say bum no more, John.
Oh, okay.
Downtrodden. Downtrodden.
You're dressed in an undesirable manner, right? And so the bouncer's like, hey, man, you can't get in here. You ain't dressed right. Oh, bam, boom, about to bow. I'm standing in line for Todd. Todd, go ahead.
Yeah, that sound like Quarantine Corey there. He must be a bum. He must be a bum. All right.
Damn.
So
Shots fired.
yeah, so we gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode. Be sure to follow us on social media by searching for Jump Off Live. Now we'll see you next week. Keep in mind, we have the after party. So you can refresh the YouTube page. There'll be a separate link for the after party. Right, fellas? Separate link.
I will
YouTube
post
page.
the link in this chat right now so that everybody can check that out too.
Excellent. Please post a link in
Anything
the chat.
goes. We're gonna have a couple of guests live with us on the after.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna get unmasked and uncensored. So we'll see you next week. Peace and love. Definitely love. Holla. Jump off.
Jump off.